What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I'm back with some more Age of Titans action. Spawning in the top side of the map in the red color, playing a set from the MPT clan is currently up 1-2-0 in this best of 3 series between Berserker, who has spawned in the bottom of the map, also playing a set in the blue color. The map is Oasis. Previous game was absolutely mental play from really showing Berserker why Ra is such a strong god, especially on Watering Hole. And yeah, just being an all-around baller. And I believe, okay, so let's just talk about a little bit about what's going on here. Berserker finds his hunt first, so good for him. But for some reason, has 5-0. So Berserker finding his hunt first, not very worth it if they get cut off by the edge of the map, which sometimes happens with AOM. Like, what'll happen is you'll see there's some giraffe up here. That looks like that's all the giraffe as well. Oh no, there's some giraffe down here. So what'll happen is you get a bunch of animals spawning in the corner of a map or on the side of a map, and the random map script doesn't have the best constraints, and by constraints I mean stuff that says you can't spawn here, look for somewhere else. It doesn't have the best constraints, so it'll spawn, like, instead of spawning 3 gazelles here, it spawns 2, and the third one is over here and gets instantly deleted because it's not on the map. But it is only 2 gazelles, we can see there's only here, so that hasn't been broken yet. But that's what's happened for Berserker. Berserker only getting the 3-0. So he's going to be in a little bit of a problem spot. He does have his giraffe over here, which he should scout out at some point. If we jump over to Berserker's camera, he has found that. On the other hand, yet to scout the top corner. It's often a space which people neglect. However, I'm sure as set, it's going to be somewhere that he eventually looks. He's got all of these things to look forward to. He's got the gazelle that he can hunt. He's got the zebra. He's got the lion that just casually walked up. And that's going to be good for him. So a little bit about the build order. I believe both players doing the same thing at the moment. He's got 6 villagers on food, 2 villagers on gold. Okay, so Berserker does something a little bit different. He chucks 6 onto food. Most set players go 5 food, houses, 3 gold. Berserker's gone 5 food, houses, 1 food, 3 gold. So he puts an extra villager on food. And the labourer being a little bit sneaky there, trying to get back to the town centre instead of the mining camp. It'll be, I think the villager, instead of, it's obviously the programming, it would be a little bit difficult, but if you made it do a check every couple of seconds where the closest drop-off point is, that would have been really, really nice. But yeah, you kind of have to be aware that that's how this game works. We see Priest coming over here. Is he going to convert these giraffe? I wouldn't convert these giraffe. They're in a really nice position. There is these gazelle. So if we jump over his camera, he's looking around. He's going, okay, there's lots of giraffe there. He might see the gazelle and convert them. There aren't any hyena on this map that I've spotted just yet, which is a little bit confusing. There's lion. Okay. There's lion. Normally you get a mixture of hyena and lion, but on this map it's just going to be the lion. So not all too many aggressive animals that you can scout out and take use of. So the early aggression isn't going to be all too useful. Berserker, a little bit ahead at the moment, looking to advance to the next age. He's doing this really aggressive play yet again. Moving over to the giraffe here. On the other hand, not with his temple up yet. He's gotten still no villagers on wood just of yet. A little bit interesting. But he hasn't got his temple up yet. He's going to be looking to get that up soon. Going for the monument before the temple. Just going to put his advance time back. The amount of build time it takes to get this monument of villagers up, basically. And we look at the build time is 36 seconds. So he's going to get set behind around 45 seconds if he keeps the if he only builds the temple with 1 villager. Basically. Because he would have the temple up at this point if he did choose to, and he would be able to advance. Look at the temple's build time at 4. I think it's 40. I think that's what BP means. No, it doesn't. I have no idea. I could be making it up. Don't trust me. I don't know anything. Anyways, check back over to Berserker's camera. Hasn't got his temple up just yet, and it is a little bit in front of Ertz, but he doesn't have a monument just yet, so Berserker gonna have the advance time advantage. And we'll see exactly what he chooses to do with that. Because in a mirror matchup, if you shift villagers into your base, that gives your opponent line of sight, and if they also have shifting sands, they can move their villagers over the enemy villagers, shift back their villagers, and grab 3 of the enemy villagers. So using shifting sands like that isn't always the best idea. We see some walls going up for Berserker. Berserker hitting that Patar button. Also going to be hitting that Patar button as soon as possible. Getting that temple being a little bit late, and there we go. The extra 15-ish seconds going to get neglected by not building that extra villager. He's going to get up. It's going to be around about 5:07 for that advance time instead of the 4:30 that Berserker aimed for. I think Berserker's a little bit behind 4:30 though. Definitely a little bit behind, more like 4:45-ish. And we see moving up to this top location here. So, if Berserker puts on this pressure, which it doesn't look like he's going the right way. Does he have... Oh, he doesn't have it scouted. That's so unfortunate, because hitting over here is going to hit the gold mine, but it's not going to do anything because Ert's going to hit the classical age, and that's going to be that. You can't put any more pressure on. If I was Berserker, just grab this relic and go back to base. I don't think that as soon as he sees that there's Hun up here, he should just be like, okay, this is dumb. I need to defend against this push from see what we can do there. You can see a little bit of damage coming on over here, and Berserker hitting that classical age. There we go. We see the Pharaoh for Berserker coming in here. Gonna have to retreat out behind the Lion trying to pick off these priests. If he gets out alive, it's basically like nothing happened. Gonna lose that priest though. They're gonna keep fighting actually. A little bit interesting choice by Earth there. Needs to get out, or he will lose all of these dudes. And you can see some of this pretty sneaky action going on here with the pathing. Trying to bump in so he could get the Pharaoh to get that extra shot off. He managed to do so. Gonna move in, try and pick up this Wadget now. No, gonna lose those. Basically lose the Lion for nothing there. Didn't have to move in and fight there. And if we jump back over to Earth's perspective, we can see what he's doing. Has he got an armory coming up? Not just yet. Does he have a pickaxe coming in? Not just yet. He has started researching it. Berserker on the other hand, he's not yet grabbed it. Doesn't have the wood. Not got anything happening with his economy just yet. Chucking more houses down. A little bit interesting placement. Just take the time generally just to house in your tower. It's spacing them out like this kind of does nothing, but it kind of, I don't know. Maybe if you built them around like this to provide a wall, that'd be pretty nice. But other than that, just surround towers with houses is generally the most accepted way to play. The armory going down for Berserker by some gold villagers. On the other hand, chucking his armory down almost there. Just needs to build a couple more villages with this nice giraffe line here. With all of those villages on the giraffe, going to be very nice for where it's only 5 villages on the giraffe for Berserker. So the food income for going to be a little bit stronger than Berserker. So we do see husbandry grabbed for Berserker, not having husbandry just yet. Interesting choice there, picking husbandry over pickaxe first. It's interesting because he's got 9 goat that it's going to affect. And you're probably going to get around about a half a villager extra on that pickaxe. I believe pickaxe gives you an extra 10% gather rate. So I guess that having 10 villagers on a gold mine and getting pickaxe is worth having an extra villager on that gold mine, I guess. But that's not taking into account the reduced walking time that happens for gathering 15 gold instead of just 10. So it's a little bit more. So having 6 villagers on gold getting pickaxe, that's going to be that. See the armory going up there for Berserker. Already advancing through Nephthys, so you can see having those villagers on the hunt right there has been very fruitful for see what I did there? Fruit, it's like food, and like he was hunting really efficiently. So it's, anyway, Berserker. Not yet advancing, he's very close, got his armory up, almost got the resources. Villager's going to come out, he's going to get the 800 food he needs, going to advance, and then we'll see exactly what he does. In this set war, I do believe that the 10 wood villages, 10 gold villages rest on food is a good way to play it. However, he might just be walling up and trying to play for that late game stage. Berserker is known, well, at least I know him for his insane late game and really strong micro. So if he can force into a siege tower, chariot, archer for, he might be able to take a win off him. I'm not exactly sure how plays, but she played really solidly last game, so yeah, we'll see exactly what happens in that late game. And the giraffe finally taking their last little bit of meat out of them. And yeah, we see Berserker with only 7 villages on wood and with 3. So interesting to see exactly how both players are playing. And grabbing that second town center, going through that boomy style. So he's saying, yo Berserker, I don't think you can put a scratch on me. I'm going to grab this second town center, spam villages out, and go from there. If this town center was in a really strong place, like around here, grabbing that town center first would be the best decision every game, because you can stockpile gold, and when your opponent moves in for a fight, you just make out a bunch of mercenary and then fight it and then win. Because you've got Tower 5, you've got Mercenary, which are probably the strongest unit in the early classical age to use, though they do die. You can't sort of like keep them alive. But yeah, we see the Mugdol going up for Berserker. Berserker probably not with the amount of gold he needs to grab this second down center straight away. So he's going to go from there and gathering from some berries. So that's nice for Berserker. Berserker not having to rely on his goat just yet, fattening them up as much as possible. They get to a fatness of 300 food, so they're going to stop. So that's basically when you want to start grabbing them. On the other hand, he's gathering from his goat quite early, considering he's already got the berry bushes, so a little bit interesting. The general rule of thumb with which resource you should gather from first is hunt, so your giraffe, your gazelle, your zebra, and berries and chicken, and then goat, and then farms is the general way that you want to do it if you want to be the most efficient, because resources are more valuable early on to get your economy all going in the right frame of mind, so to speak. So we'll see if Berserker can put on some pain here. He's not grabbing that second town center so early. It's actually an interesting way to play. However, Berserker not having the gold to continuously produce stuff and not having quite enough villages on the wood, having 10 villages on food means he's going to have a good economy, but this push isn't going to be very strong. So with the second town center, going to get more villages, have a stronger economy, and probably be able to hold on. Really, if we look at Ert's perspective, he's got 8 villages on wood as well, so he's going to be producing at the same rate as Berserker. These chariot archers getting a little bit frisky, looking for something to fend off, something to shoot at. The thing I love about Egyptian wars is these little hit and runs. If Ert comes in here, oh, that's a really nice play there, moving those chariots around. Didn't really know about it. Almost going to pick that chariot and going to get that one off. These chariots move too slowly. And probably Ert, as a Ra player, not going to be remembering that chariots actually can't dodge arrows if you're Set or Isis, because they don't have enough speed, only with a speed of 5.00. Berserker, knowing that, picking them off. But he's going to be moving forward with only 1 siege tower. And we'll see if this is going to work out for him. 2 ancestors go down, all the units die, and then they're back at scratch. It's not what you want to do if you don't have a second town center up. That's what you want if you're Ert. So we'll see what happens here. See Berserker moving in here, falling prey to that old pull back micro, the trireme micro. Really nice micro by Ert here, actually. Berserker falling a little bit into the middle of Ert there. Maybe this once the siege tower comes in, you see the ancestors going down. All of these priests, oh, the shifting sands, that was brutal. Let's see if he shifts them back, and he does, moving everything back into this fight. But is that going to be too little too late? There's a really huge bunch of dudes here, though the siege tower is sitting on the line of these chariots, so whenever these chariots pick off a unit, they're going to focus that siege tower down first. And Berserker really dominating this fight, but it looks like he's going to have to get pushed back here, because that shifting sand was so strong. The ancestors picking off a lot of stuff. And if we jump over to looking at the population tab, 87 population to Berserker 60 pop, so Ert coming out way ahead in that fight. Nice play with that shifting sands, counteracting a little bit of that Ancestor's time. Berserker probably could have shifted them back instantly, but it's a little bit delayed. And we see these minions just being a little bit of a hassle here. And Berserker trying to grab this town center right now. And that would be a good idea if he had an army to defend, but we can see that trying to move in here, picking off what he can, and those villagers getting back into that Migdol safe sound. So with an economic advantage, population advantage, and a military advantage at the moment, Berserker going to have to pull something out of his bag of tricks in order to deal with this and try and take the win. So he can go on to game number 3. We'll see exactly what happens there though. Villagers knocking away on that mining camp, just doing all that other stuff. So going for that, there's very interesting differentiation in the style between his Ra playing and his set playing, going for pure chariots in this game, whereas he went for pretty much pure camera in the last game. And we see some nice micro there by Berserker, actually not losing any units their way. Probably should have lost a couple. Just kind of abusing that move fast. It's sort of a bug, but if you move all your units and one's slower than the other one, you can, if you do it right, I can't exactly explain how it's done, but if you do it right, you can speed walk units. Not always in the way you want them to go, but you can make them dodge arrows. And there we go, picking off a priest there. Nice micro again by trying to keep all of these chariot archers alive as long as he can. We see the market in the top left corner of the map, picking off some, getting some of those camel caravans out. Grabbing this town center at this point for would be a good decision, or simply some of those siege towers. We can see how many siege towers he's got, and he's got 2 siege towers, so he's looking to make a push here. If we jump back over to Berserker's camera, he's got 400 gold, and he has a lot of villages on gold. Or had a lot of villages on gold, one of the other. So a nice little raid here, coming through these walls. Not set up quite as well as you should have to defend this trade route. Chucking up a wall here, chucking up a wall around here would be a good choice to keep this safe. And maybe going to lose some of these camel caravans as well. Producing them with auto queue as well means they're just going to keep coming out, and if he leaves these three chariot archers here, he's going to be able to pick off quite a lot of food. Though we do see a bit of an overreaction there with these heavy chariots, going to move over to deal with these 3 chariot archers. But maybe they're also there to secure that town center, which Erd has no idea about at the moment, whether that's up or down. Berserker could be containing that at the moment. Berserker does grab that town center though. That gives him map control of the town centers, and that'll be pretty strong for him. And try and pick off that Pegasus. 2 volleys does get that from 17 of those chariot archers with the heavy upgrade. Berserker going to retreat out of here now. Unfortunately, when you upgrade units through their line upgrades, they do not get extra speed, so unfortunately, they're not going to be able to catch up to the other chariots there. Pharaoh coming in with 11 villages to grab this town center. Jump back over to Berserker's camera. He's looking to chuck up some siege workshops. There is a hyena setting on this location here, but Berserker not feeling too confident just yet. Grab that one. Moving in though, if he can get in here and pick off a couple of these villages, it would be pretty big for him, but he has to get them without losing all too much of his own army. The heavy chariots moving back. Don't know if exactly knows what's going on here, but he does have his town center pretty much secured, so he feels confident to not stay there. There we go, picking off a unit here or 2. I'm trying to. There we go, chariot archer getting picked off there. Might need to retreat out here before he loses a little bit too much HP off stuff. He gets 1 volley onto one of those chariot archers, missing a couple of the arrows there. As you can see, they hit the ground in random places. So Berserker will get enough free chariot archer there. Wall going up for at the moment. This is kind of like a treaty wall. It's like, yeah, I won't attack you if you don't attack me here. But Berserker not having a thing about it, picking those up, those 3 stray chariot archers. Berserker sitting at 132 pop to the 145 pop of Erd. So Erd in a pretty commanding position in terms of what he could do now. He's got all these siege towers in this siege workshop as well, which he might have forgotten about, because they're very useful in a fight like this. You position your siege towers in front, you move your guys in, and you start fighting. It's really, really good. I don't know why he's moving them back. He should just keep on fighting that. There we go. Going to pick off that Wadget pretty much. He does get picked off, and all these other dudes getting attacked. You see that the chariot, the Camry micro there, pretty strong by Berserker. Camry do have this 6 speed, so they can dodge arrows. But 3 siege towers coming out for now chasing down Berserker. Berserker saying, I gotta fight this now. And we'll see exactly what he does do. This Pharaoh dealing a lot of damage, a little bit more than everyone else in this fight, does 17 damage per second. These chariot archers need to focus the enemy chariot archers though. You can see Berserker gonna have to retreat out now. He's moving back with like the slowest pace possible because he's got these Pharaoh here. He might just want to sacrifice that one in order to keep some of these units back. Some mercenary cavalry coming into the fray now. We see the chariot archers continuously harassing the gold line of Ert. So Ert needs to deal with that at some stage. But we do see Berserker holding on here. Needs to grab this town center though at some point, and at some point soon, really. You can see 2 siege workshops up as well. Building these siege towers in order to pick off some stuff. Always good. You can see the Migdol stronghold going up for and as I said, this is sort of like a peace treaty. Like, I won't attack you if you don't attack me until the Mythic Age, when it's like, I'm going to chuck my catapult here. You're not going to be able to stop me. We see Berserker coming over here trying to stop this from happening. Probably should attack that Pharaoh, because that slows down the Migdol stronghold as much as possible. If he doesn't slow down that, then basically picking off a minimum amount of villages, maybe 2, maybe 3, before he loses all these chariot archers. A little bit of a dry spot coming up here. Looking a little bit frisky with those chariots again, trying to move them forward, trying to pick off some stuff. There is some slinger in Berserker's army. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that, but it can be good if your opponent lets it go unnoticed. This gold mine, though, going to get pushed off by a Migdol stronghold if it decides to start focus firing with that. You can see the town center going up for Berserker now, so this is actually the time Ert wants to attack. Berserker just invested 400 gold into that town center, so he's going to be a little bit short of the gold, sitting with only 146. So mercenary cavalry as a defense is going to be a little bit difficult. As we see the siege towers coming in now, trying to pick off that siege workshop. He's got like, how many is that? That's like 7 siege towers, which reminds me of one of the craziest games I've ever seen between, I think it was Hail to the Cobra and might have been King, where both players made like 12 siege towers each. It's hilarious. And we can see these armies actually very, very strong with the Scorpion Man in front, but the siege tower is going to be picking up everything, though there are some villagers here to deal with this. We'll see exactly what Earth can do, but I'm retreating now. Has to pick off some stuff and all that other good junk. Market's going up. Actually, that's already up. I don't know what was just produced. Actually, the town center was. Yes, the town center was produced then. Not built, it was produced. Definitely. You can see, again, trying to push through with this. I feel like if he was going to the Mythic Age now, which he might have been, he stopped production of his camel caravans for some reason. Maybe he lost too many of them and he was like, I can't be bothered. But this push still coming in, trying to pick off all these buildings. These siege towers going to get deaded very soon though. And that though, not with all too many gold mine options. He does have this home gold mine which has 350 gold left, but he didn't secure this, which probably would have been smart. And by probably I mean it would have been really smart. Once you make a push forward, why not check a Migdol up? And you just get map control with your push as well, instead of like, oh, I had a little fight, let's like pansy about around it, I'll fight again, and then when I need the map control I'll get it, instead of when I can get the map control I'll get it. Anyways, again that Scorpion Man doing a lot of damage over here. It's not that much, but you do take a fair amount considering it's AoE, and a lot of them do take it. So chariot archers picking off all of this stuff. Villagers going down trying to build up this Migdol stronghold. Siege towers putting the pain onto the Migdol stronghold, getting erected. And chariot archers getting picked off left, right, and center. Berserker's micro a little bit lackluster this game. He's going to have to retreat out of here and forfeit this location. I think Ert should move in again. Try and check up that extra, what's it called? Migdol again. Yes. I did play a Ra vs Ra game, and this Thoth advance it seems to be a little bit. Actually, this might not be underpowered because I had to go Osiris, but I think the stronger of the two options is actually the Hathor in terms of the very late game if you're playing Set, because Hathor gives you the Spearmen, which deal with siege and deals with mercenary. So you spam your Spearmen, you spam your mercenary. Your opponent goes Thoth, they have to spam Elephant, and to do anything, and the elephant get picked off really easily by Spearman. So we'll see if Berserker can make that note there, and he's actually doing really, really well at this point. He's coming back into this game. Jump back over to his perspective. He's got no resources though in the bank. He's got a fair amount of villages, which is good. He's got a trade route happening, and he's going to have to deal with the mythic age of So Urt's going to be able to build some stuff. We see a really nice side build here by Berserker, picking off that Migdol stronghold with a couple of these siege towers. Going to have to either retreat out here now or sacrifice them. Picking off the Migdol stronghold generally is worth it. However, losing all of these siege towers probably not so much, but he doesn't want to have them idle either. So he's going to have to make his mind up with what he's going to do then. And Berserker, what are you doing? How are your upgrades looking? He's got most of the upgrades. Does not yet have hand axe. Now, one thing I can say is that hand axe is one of the best upgrades in the game. It's on par with pickaxe. It's on par with plow. Well, not on par with plow. Nothing's on par with plow with Egyptian because it gives you 22% increased stuff. See, Watchtower's now going up for Berserker. Urt, though, going through the Titan Age. This Titan Age seems to be a thing for Urt, so he's going to be able to chuck that Titan up and do what he can with that. See Urt moving in here, gonna pick off a Chariot Archer pretty quickly, and then start fighting a little bit. Nice micro again by Urt, noticing that he's focus firing those units. And this is like a really, really good archership micro. Is when you see which unit's getting attacked and you just pull it back. And you just pull it back, and then your opponent chases you while the rest of your units deal damage. And we can see Berserker chucking up some watchtowers here, trying to make a push in here. Is he going to the? He is going to the Mythic Age through Horus. So this is going to be really interesting if he can set up A, to kill off the Titan Gate, and B, to set up his economy really, really strong and start producing spearmen. He's going to be in a really, really good spot to win this game. But however, if he can protect his Titan Gate, then it's going to be difficult for him to lose. Basically, this Titan is the biggest thing, and we'll see. The Pegasus did try to get in here, a little bit slow, didn't have the god power yet, and basically, is this Titan going to get up or not is the question. We see Berserker moving in, Urt with only 246 gold, so defending against the siege towers is going to be pretty difficult. Phoenix getting picked off there by the watchtowers. The Phoenix Egg probably not going to get rebuilt. And villagers coming in over here to pick off these low HP siege towers who aren't dealing a whole lot of damage there due to the Mason's upgrade. Mason's a very, very strong building upgrade to stop it from basically stop your buildings from dying and make them. They're basically more crush armor, I think. Is that what it does? 5% crush armor, 15% building hit points, and 20% hack armor. So it's basically your building is just much more strong. And the Titan Gate going up as slowly as possible. 1500 HP. For a one laborer, it takes 1627 seconds to build a Titan Gate. And we can see Urt picking off some of those Chariot Archers which we're trying to get in to cause this tornado to happen. You can see him trying yet again. Knows that he needs to stop this from happening. And I don't actually think he's going to be able to get in here using the unfortunately using the tornado to try and pick off some of those Chariot Archers. Not going to be the best use there. Really needed to get that onto the Titan Gate, at least to slow it down so he could get his own Titan Gate out. Berserker, not with the amount of favor he needs to advance through Titan Age. He is going to be getting some of these siege catapults out, but he doesn't have population to, so he needs to probably kill off some of these rhinoceros set, build up a bunch of priests to deal with the Titan, and just try and keep this town center from going down. from staying up using catapult. And he's going to be sending his units in to try and pick off some stuff. You see some houses going up there which were picked off with that tornado. And a bit of a silly place, to be honest, because this is where Berserker is going to be putting the pressure on. And we can see Berserker moving in with this catapult. Just going to be dealing a bunch of damage now with the extra upgrade which catapult get. It gives them 25% range and 50% melee siege unit attack, which is pretty crazy. 63 crush damage that it does per hit, which amounts to a fair amount. Does it have a bonus against buildings? No. And that's that. We do see the earthquake going down into this location, trying to pick off the catapult, which it does manage to do. Titan coming out now. Gonna see what it can do. Trying to pick off what Berserker has. Dealing with a Titan is always one of the harder things to do, and if you do get it killed, that's always a bonus. Shingles of Steel probably would be a relic I would pick up at this point. It gives you extra house hit points, and yeah, it gives you 200% house hit points, which is pretty crazy. No, does it 200%? Yeah, 200% house hit points. So that's going to be a little bit of a way to delay the Titan from killing everything. It does have 70 hack damage, 400% bonus versus buildings, 1900% versus Titans, 100% versus human units. So it does a bunch of damage. It's one of the most devastating units in the game. Though it does come with a pack of population, 20 population it costs to have a Titan out, so you have to be very, very good with it. Unfortunately, these priests and Pharaoh coming in over here, a little bit interesting to see that. We see Berserker trying to pick off stuff on the other side of the map. Not done any damage yet to this Titan as he takes his first 2 points of damage as the priest. Not going to be able to deal all too much to the 94% pierce armor. Crazy. So 800%, like if you the numbers, it's crazy. You do see some medium spears coming out now for Urt and the Titan picking off everything that we can. You can see some of these mercenary cavalry coming out now, trying to pick off some stuff. The fortified town center still within the masons. Might want to pick up that extra upgrade for what's it called, architects, and get your villagers back to work. It's always good. Berserker chucking up some walls. Not going to slow down the Titan all too much. He's just going to have a bit of a bash away at the wall before moving on to the town center. And then the town center going to fall incredibly quickly, as we see one little punch there is all he needs to do. Being a little bit, how you say, like indecisive with this Titan, picks off the wall and then moves back for the priest. The auto AI not doing exactly what Urt wants him to do. Moving up to this town center now, trying to deal with this. Berserker's still trying to put the pressure on in this location. Thinks if he can trade town centers, if he can pick this town center off while he has this town center down, then that's going to be good for him. And he can just continuously pick off this Titan. But we'll see exactly what happens there. The town center still up, unfortunately. It's very difficult for Berserker to get these towers up to kill off all of these mercenary cavalry. Catapults are dying now, and Berserker sitting now 140 pop of 152. That going down ever so quickly. The Titan continuously moving in. Not even 1,000 points of damage yet dealt to the Titan. What you need to do when you're fighting against a Titan is commit 20 population to killing it, and just do that, and then that's what you need to do, and you just keep on committing 20 pop. It's going to be very inefficient to kill the Titan off, because he costs only 800 of each resource, where it's going to cost like 3,200 gold or something to pick it off, something crazy. But Berserker tapping out there, so that goes through the next round with a 2-0 or victory there for him. Berserker not being able to quite come back in this game. He was behind, fell behind on technology, and then he took a little bit of a lead in economy and military there, but because he was so far behind in the tech, managed to get to the Mythology age and then to the Titan age and abused this Titan really, really well. Berserker choosing not to deal with that full on, like straight on, trying to pick off the town center instead. Didn't go too well for him, and he had to tap out. Thank you guys heaps for watching this shoutcast. If you liked it, please rate, comment, and subscribe. There's plenty more games coming up, and I'll try and cast every single one that I think is going to be good. It's basically all the top players I'm going to cast. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.